Hi all, welcome to my channel. I'm Ashley, and if you're new here, I do videos on mom life, tips and tricks with baby, and overall lifestyle. Please hit the subscribe button down below so you can know when all of our new videos come out and join our little YouTube family. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram. A little bit about me is that my son MJ is 6 weeks old actually today, and he's finally taking a nap. It took him forever to go down. There's one of my cats. Hello, little one. Today we will be talking about my birth story, my little bit about me, trying to get to know me a little bit. So MJ is my rainbow baby. For those of you who don't know what a rainbow baby is that it is the baby you have after either a stillborn or a miscarriage. I had my miscarriage about a year ago now, roughly. It is hard for those of you who have not had one. It honestly sucks. And I don't know how else to put that, but it just sucks. It's amazing once you get pregnant afterwards and you make it through the first 3 months and it stays. It's great. And then you turn out and you have a rainbow baby. If you have had a miscarriage or scared, it sucks. It's tough to get through it. Definitely try again afterwards, but wait until your body and mind are ready. You have to be fully ready to do it because it's very mentally hard to make it through that first trimester after a miscarriage, and I could imagine a stillborn. A little bit about my birth story. I did have a all-natural water birth. It was amazing. It was so hard. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life, honestly. It was amazing. About my birth story, I was in labor for about 29 hours roughly. A little bit before I went into labor, about a week before, I thought I was in labor and it would just turn out to be super bad Braxton Hicks contractions, but I went to the hospital and they were like, no, all of that, which is embarrassing, but it happens to everybody, so it's fine. I asked them, what would you know, how do you know when you're in labor? And they were like, you know when you know. Well, to me, that was the worst advice I could ever get, ever. I, as a first-time mom, did not know. I was at work one day and I went into labor. John, I was at work. I had 5 contractions at work over an hour and a half before I even realized that I was in labor. And then I finally did leave work and went to the hospital. My husband works at the hospital, so I went and picked him up, and we got me checked out, and then obviously they sent me home. They told me to take 50 milligrams of Benadryl so you could sleep a little bit and rest. So the rest part for me when I got home wasn't really a thing. My grandmother just got into town the day before I went into labor, so there was no resting for me. I finally was able to go to sleep about 7 hours after I got home, and then I finally took a bath because the water helps your contractions make you feel better, and took the Benadryl, finally fell asleep, and then woke up at about 1 a.m. and with excruciating pain. I regret not taking the 50 milligrams of Benadryl. I only took 25. Super regret that. Because I just didn't want to be drowsy. You will not be drowsy when you wake up. When you wake up, you are in an exuberant amount of pain. It hurts. It hurts really bad. So I was in the tub again with the hot water, trying to make myself feel better, bouncing on my yoga ball, which helped a lot actually. After about 2 hours of having my contractions 4 minutes apart and about a minute each, after 2 hours, it was about 3 a.m. at this point, and we finally went to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, we got me checked out. I was only 1 centimeter dilated, but I was 100% effaced. They told me I could go home or I could stay. I opted into staying. Tidbit, I did not get sick my entire pregnancy. I did not have bad morning sickness. I was just super nauseous, but I did not get sick until I was in labor, luckily, when I got to the hospital. I had to have a lot of nausea medicine because it was so bad. Since I did opt into staying at the hospital, once I finally got there, when they told me I could go home, they gave me the most beautiful thing on this earth, which was morphine sleep. So morphine sleep is morphine shots that go directly into your legs, and because it's right there next to your back, and it helps you sleep. You don't fully sleep too much because you're in labor and it still hurts and you're still going through these contractions, but you rest, and you rest more than at least I did for the whole first part of that pregnancy. At this point, I was in labor for about 17 hours when I woke up at about 11, and they finally moved me into a full labor room instead of just like a little waiting room where I was able to take a nap. And once I got into the labor room, it got bad real quick. I was in the shower with my husband was having the hot water on my back and pushing on my back to give it pressure, and it made me feel better. Finally, they don't set up the tub for you for a water birth until you're about 6 centimeters dilated. Once they said they could set that up, it was great news to me. I loved it. Finally, it took about probably 30-40 minutes for them to, probably longer, to set it up. I finally got in the tub, which was great. Laboring in the tub is the most amazing feeling because you're in the water and the water helps relax everything. It's fantastic. Finally got to be pushing, and pushing hurts. It hurts. I did end up saying my husband and I's little code word to get the epidural, even though I really wanted the water birth, but I just couldn't do it anymore. It was so hard. It hurt so bad. And then, so my midwives, who I couldn't have done it without, they were so great, gave me a little, got in my face, gave me a little bit of a pep talk, motivational speech, and she helped so much. And she checked to see where he was, to see if I was like ready to push. If it wasn't ready to push or like continue, if he was right there, then I would continue pushing. If he wasn't, then I could get the epidural. He was right there, so I did continue pushing, but I did ask for nitrous oxide. The nitrous oxide was amazing when it finally got to me. God, it took forever, but it was amazing. It doesn't take the pain away, but it does help. It just makes you super loopy. So I was actually like borderline falling asleep between my contractions because the nitrous oxide helped me relax so bad. Also, the mask also like kind of contains the yelling when you're pushing, which is kind of nice because you scream really loud when it is bad. Finally, after 3 hours of pushing in the water, I got my little boy, and it was so great. It was so overwhelming. When I first got him, I was just like, holy cow, this is my baby. This was a living thing inside of me. I could not believe it. It was absolutely great. He pooped on me within the first 30 minutes of coming out when we were doing like the skin to skin, and he was on my chest but right after they cut the umbilical cord and everything was out. He straight up pooped on me all over. It was hilarious. Then all the nurses were like, welcome to motherhood. That's my son. He loves to poop on me. He still does it almost every day. I don't get how he does it, but he does. thanks for listening to my story. Please comment below if you had anything kind of like what I had or any of your experience. I love to know everybody's stories and how your labor and delivery went. As a first-time mom, it was fantastic. I love the Waterbirth. I will definitely be doing it again. It was just the greatest thing to me. So thanks. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.